Good morning. If you think America's two-party system doesn't work very well, I think you're in the right place. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Art. Every weekday morning I try to do a little video that I hope will help stimulate discussion, maybe over coffee, but however, I'd like to stimulate discussion. You remember the kind where everybody who participates is valued and potentially could add to the group's understanding of whatever is being discussed? The reason I say it like that is because some of you have not experienced a good discussion in years because of the polarized two-party system. As soon as you start trying to discuss any of the issues that have been polarized, we become so polarized that immediately it becomes anger and shooting back and forth. It becomes trench warfare. And if trench warfare is not productive, there's no real winners. And if you try to take middle ground, you get shot to hell, to put it bluntly. We've got to end it. And that's what I'm hoping I can help with. See, we haven't had political parties from the start. That's the first part of my book, and I guess I forgot to bring a copy to even show it today. But it's called Political Cocaine. And so if you just type in my name, Art Rude, and political cocaine, a number of places should come up that have it. Sorry, I can't afford to put it in stores or anything. But I hope it's significant, and I hope it will cause you to think, and I hope we can start a new national discussion of how to fix what's broken. And it's important you understand that it can never come from the Democrats or the Republicans, because they are the problem. They're the biggest part of the problem. They have essentially legalized corruption. And it happened very close to the start. We didn't have political parties. Read the Constitution, read George Washington, read John Adams. Both of our first two presidents warned sternly against the formation of political parties, and they were right. And we are seeing the results of what both of those first two founding father presidents said. Two more significant people of the American Revolution. The guy who just wouldn't give up, John Adams, and the general who took on the greatest military power in the world with a ragtag army and won, George Washington. There was no political party. He was elected unanimously. But we got to try. Look at what they had and go in that direction instead of going the direction we have been going. See, I am convinced that the Founding Fathers really believed that very little would ever pass the federal Congress in terms of taxation. Just think about it now. They fought the Revolutionary War primarily over taxation. What was the rallying cry for the American Revolution? Taxation without representation. So we were going to build a system that was only going to tax based on representation. So I really don't think that the founders thought very much was going to pass the federal level. Notice as well, all of the funding has to start in the people's house, the body that they felt would be closest to the people. So you'd have to prove, if something was going to be taxed, it would have to prove to have a benefit to a majority of the states. It would have to have some merit before it's ever going to pass so that people would tax themselves. Seems perfectly logical, and I believe that's what the Founding Fathers had essentially built into their reality at that time. You know, people didn't want taxes. So it's the advent of political parties that changed all that, people. Both parties represent that. That's what they do. They build the careers of politicians and they sell things through the Congress to one another so that it has political capital. It no longer has to have merit. There's all kinds of things that pass the federal budget and have for a long time that don't have sufficient merit to stand on their own. That's what the founders thought would happen. That before something would be actually taxed at the federal level, it would have to prove merit to a majority of the states. The political parties changed all that. It doesn't have to have merit to the general population of the United States, to a majority of the states. All it has to have is sufficient political capital so that I can vote for your legislation, you vote for mine, and we pass a whole Christmas tree of bills tied together, none of them having sufficient merit to stand on their own. That's why you can never really change the system from within the Democrat or Republican parties. That's why I make fun of them. You know, I'm going to work to change, but in the meantime, I'm going to make fun of the buggers. See, all you got to do is just cross out the C, and you get a much better representation. The Demorats. And if you just add an apostrophe T and then an S for plural, you get a much better description of the Republicans. They can't do nothing. They just vote one way and back the other, and every time, doesn't make any difference. The price of government, the size of government goes up. We need to have a discussion of something other than Demorats and Republicans. Anyway, I hope I gave you a little something to think about this morning. I hope you can have a discussion. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Remember that every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So please unwrap your present with somebody special today. Have a wonderful day.